Who would win a fight? R2-D2 from Star Wars or the Dalek from Doctor Who? Hey, it's a big sci-fi battle between show and a movie. Or movies, if you count the entire trilogy. No, the prequels don't exist. No, those are just terrible. Those had flaws, so yeah, the prequel doesn't exist. And yet people think Star Wars is gonna die. Have you seen the prequels, people? If you say Star Wars is gonna die, because if you put that in the comment section below, that just means you like the prequels, and I'm disgusted. So let me talk about some stuff. All right, now let me originally get on. I know. I didn't upload this in the time of the Doctor's 50th anniversary. I didn't upload this on the time of, this new Star Wars movie. Because that's That's 2 years away from us. Even though it's getting close to Christmas and New Year's. I want to talk about this. How awesome would it have been if there was Doctor Who versus Star Wars? Wouldn't that be awesome? Well, sorta. I mean, stormtroopers invade the TARDIS, and the Doctor has to get the stay undercover and try to stop all these stormtroopers from invading the TARDIS. It's the beginning of the first Star Wars movie when the clones just blast through and they try to shoot them. Instead, how about this I can think of? How about the 10th Doctor? How about the 10th Doctor is getting invaded by stormtroopers and Daleks? And one stormtrooper just blasts a Dalek when a Dalek comes in. And then it's awesome, and it's this big fight in the TARDIS, and it's getting trashed up. Then Doctor Who regenerates into the 11th Doctor. Wouldn't that be awesome? And also, Darth Vader might come in and use Doctor Who for a hostage, and then he escapes later, from the Death Star. I don't know if there's escape pods on the Death Star, but if there is, that's gonna be fun. Because the Doctor can escape on those Death pods, or the rebels can come pick him up, or the rebels. Wait, versus or and? That's something. Now let me note a few good things and a few bad things. Alright, the good things first, because good things are good. Alright, the first thing I want, I don't know if it should be versus or and. I'll just make it Star Wars and Doctor Who, or just Doctor Who and Star Wars. It's or the 11th Doctor teams up with the rebels to help get back his TARDIS, because the Daleks and the stormtroopers have something, and then the Cyberman comes in on the ship, and he's you must give us your ship, and Darth Vader's no, and then Lord Palpatine just blasts that Cyberman and makes him go out of order. That'd be awesome. I'd like to see that as a comic book. Give me that for a comic book. Dark Horse, Marvel, DC, just give me that. But too bad we can't make a comic and we can't make Star Wars, because Lucasfilms is now bought out from Disney. And ABC One is just a TV show. It can't make a comic. I don't know if it can. I don't know if there's Doctor Who comics. There might be. That'd be awesome. Because I'm a nerd. I'm a real nerd. Because the Daleks are actual mutants in a robotic shell. And Cybermen are like the Borg from Star Trek. Because the Borg, they're like the Cybermen. The Cybermen was the original idea for the Borg in Star Trek. And I'm not an expert on Star Trek, but it sounds very nerdy, and I'm nerdy. Yes, under this handsome, gorgeous face, I'm a real nerd, because I want to see more nerdy stuff. Because I'm a big fan of sci-fi and fantasy. I'm a real nerd. Like, I can tell. The Lord of the Rings, at the ending of that, Frodo throws the ring of darkness and power and evil into the fires of Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew. Oh yeah, that's probably gonna be named. Imagine if Frodo drank that. Alright, now back onto the topic. Doctor Who and Star Wars would be a match made in heaven, but too bad. Star Wars is owned by Disney, and I don't think they trust ABC1. Not at all. Because ABC1's very different from Disney. Disney's more like friendly. It's just Disney's like friendly. Because even if they say bad words, they say it in like a friendly-ish way, I guess. Who am I kidding? They still say a couple bad words, but that doesn't mean something. Even though Iron Man 3 was the darkest of the entire saga, I still don't care if it's dark, even though that darkness is really good. Alright, now Doctor Who, it's a simple, it's a nerdy show, because I'm a nerd and I like it. On the Christmas one, he goes, old Mr. Scrooge, or in this case, some guy, old guy, and the doctor is trying to, like, I guess, save the family, but he crashes into his, like, house, I guess. I can't remember straightly, but he fights a shark, and he's in the underwater city. There are some magical things and sci-fi things about surviving underwater with Doctor Who. He kills a shark, and I think he like reunites with his young love that was frozen into like these halls of Christmas, I guess. It was a Christmas special. Now Star Wars, it's prevented by a guy who was once a good guy. The name of George Lucas. He created creatures, robots. And in the prequels, he created bad creatures and, things. Even though some of the creatures did look good, I still hate the prequels, no matter how much they give me. Because the prequels are just like ripping off effects from Doctor Who, in my opinion. But no prequel. Here's the thing I want to. If you're ever going to make a Star Wars and Doctor Who comic. Okay, first thing. Don't ever, never ever, never ever put the prequels in the comic if you're ever going to make a Star Wars and Doctor Who comic. Because that will probably never happen. Wish it would. Because if there ever was going to be, here's my thoughts if there ever was going to be. No prequels. No, none of the characters from the prequels. Only the original, like Chewie, the Ewoks, and some other guys. The Stormtroopers, Darth Vader, Emperor Palpatine, and other stuff. And other characters from the original trilogy. Not the prequels. Those are bad. And also, no Jar Jar Binks. Specific reason why Jar Jar Binks sucks and annoying. For a lot of reasons. And I'm glad you're sitting down here with me talking about this. Still thinking. Okay, I am missing out on and here's the thing. If there was going to be a Star Wars and Doctor Who comic idea, I would like some stuff. Here's the good stuff I'd put down. You would have to have the Doctor. Whatever Doctor it should be. The first Doctor, the 10th Doctor, the 4th Doctor, whatever Doctor it may be. Just make sure he regenerates after each comic to get there. And another thing, make sure the Storm Fighters and the Cybermen and the Daleks are all in a big war, like the Empire has a big war between the Daleks and the Cybermen, which they're enemies too, I guess, because I think Cybermen and Daleks hate each other. That's what I heard so far. Like, all these Daleks are coming in at the first comic, and the first Doctor's like, oh no, and he just runs. Like, at the ending of the first comic, there'd be, the Doctor runs, but he gets shot by the laser from, like, a stormtrooper, and then he regenerates into the second Doctor, and then he runs out the TARDIS, and then he gets on his ship, and then the Emperor has the TARDIS, so he can go back in time and capture the Doctor for the second comic. That means Luke Skywalker and Han Solo have to ride his ship to save the Doctor. So that'd be a good idea for the second comic and the first one. So, yeah, this is a pretty long video, but I still want to talk about more Doctor Who and Star Wars ideas. If that was a good mashup, it's a good matchup, but here's the most thing I don't want to be. Don't make a movie on it. Because that just means it's going to be terrible. Because all the mashup movies have been terrible so far. The Avengers is different. The Avengers is a big action movie that everyone should love. Doctor Who is a fun, silly, willy, dappadilly, something, TARDIS, willy, timey-wimey show. It's a family show. But some scenes of a family show is frightening, like the Weeping Angels. You can add them to the second comic. When they land on the moon of Endor, and the Ewoks are staring at the Weeping Angels, and then one Ewok looks away, and then the Weeping Angels pose, and it goes like that pose, and then the Ewoks just run, and then the Weeping Angels are behind them, and then one Weeping Angel grabs the Ewok. Yeah, that'd be pretty nice. Only from the original trilogy. No others. Because if you add the prequels, they're just going to be a terrible comics. Because the prequels are just origin stories that we just didn't need. And are you sure the prequels are actually prequels? I feel they're trying to be a boring remake of the two have to be the boring remakes of two of the movies. Because, for instance, let me tell you about the two movies. Wait for it. Let me think of it. There's the first opening shot with Jazz are fighting something else, and they go to down to this planet where a kid just want to get off the desert planet. And then they get a big fight. They go off a ship, and then they talk, and then they go. Then they fight the battle, and then they win. And the second one, they do stuff and then stuff. It's on the upper, and they get a big trouble, and so and then all of a sudden the big monster tries to eat them. And so when the original Rise of the Empire is trying to captures them. Same in this movie. And the big thing at the ending, his hands gets cut off, and so does Anakin's. There. I need some water. But anyway, don't have the prequels. Doctor Who and Star Wars would be a match made in heaven. Only ABC won, and Lucasfilm and Disney could just get along. Why can't Disney and them do it? Oh, because they have more language and stuff, or something like that? Well, hey, you can just make a Doctor Who and Star Wars comic. It'd be awesome. It'd be like a sci-fi epic mashup in history. It's like, there's your comic. See you later, filmmakers, and I hope you have a great day. And also watch Doctor Who. Go watch the Star Wars movies, because they're really good. And it would be awesome to see the Empire and and Weeping Angels versus Ewoks. That'd be awesome. Weeping Angels versus Ewoks. And also Empire versus Daleks versus Cybermen. That would be awesome. So make a comic like that. It will probably never happen, but I hope it does. But they just can't get along. If they did and they made the comic, that'd be awesome. So see you later, filmmakers.